I find some of the most worrying symptoms of this extreme stress or this burnout is that you just feel like your passion is gone. You wake up and you're like, why? Why am I doing this right now? And sometimes we're just thinking, hey, I'm just going through a busy season. And let me challenge that, because busy has become a mask that we wear to avoid admitting that we're overwhelmed.
Welcome. Stick around if you want to learn about the art and philosophy of beautiful movement mixed with evidence-based exercise science. We will be having tough and inspiring conversations with other coaches, experts, artists, and athletes. Our goal is to challenge myths, explore concepts, and engage in healthy debate as we dive deep with intrigue and curiosity. I'm your host, Hannah Deutscher. I've been teaching dance, Pilates, and yoga for over 2 decades. And what I've learned is that movement can be the joy that integrates us all together. When we can trust and express ourselves through our bodies, we are unlimited in our ability to change ourselves and our communities for the better. We, as movement teachers and coaches, have the power to help people experience this for themselves. Okay, everyone, let's dive in. Exchanging ideas and changing people's lives one session at a time. This is the Pilates Exchange.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Pilates Exchange. My name is Hannah, and today we're talking about burnout. Burnout just doesn't get enough airtime in the world of teaching and the world of coaching, and so I just wanted to spend time together talking about that. What is burnout, how you're going to notice it, and maybe some tips how we're going to get past it. When I'm talking burnout, I don't mean like, hey, I'm tired, like, let's go get a nap. I'm talking about really deep exhaustion that just kind of creeps over time, creeps into your body, into your thoughts, into everything. And it's, in a sense, it feels like it's that you're just going through the motions. You are dreading the next class, or you feel like your creativity has packed its bag, moved out, your motivation is gone. That kind of like deep, I can't do this anymore. And if you ever thought, oh man, I used to love this, what happened? Then this episode is for you. First off, if you're experiencing what I'm talking about right now, I totally empathize with you, and I'm so sorry. I'm there. I'm there with you. This is why we are talking about it. So I empathize, I feel you, and I've been working on getting myself out of this for a while. So we're going to talk about what I'm doing and how it feels for me, but then just sort of kind of all together some tips and see if it's going to help you a little bit. I really hope so. So let's define it. Burnout is a chronic stress without adequate recovery. And in our field, in the field of movement teaching, it's really easy to ignore the signs because we love what we do. But just because you love what you do doesn't mean you're immune to getting burned out. So here's some of the earlier signs of burnout, or maybe just signs in general. You feel drained after your teaching, not energized, right? So energized, like in my best form. After each class and each time I have contact with clients, I'm buzzing from that exchange of energy, the class that just happened, maybe the things that people are achieving, recognizing those goals. Like that exchange is what lights me up. And I started noticing a while ago that I was like, I felt exhausted every time I gave a class. A little part of me had left. And so that's not good, right? There's another sign of burnout. You feel a little bit resentful towards certain clients, or you're just tired of everyone needing something for you. And I'll give you an example of how that felt for me. Is I had a conversation with a person recently, and it was a compliment. This person was saying, yes, I love your classes. I don't see you on the schedule enough. I really just want to take your classes. And like a part of me, I got so angry deep down because I was like, I am teaching all the time. Oh my God, what do you mean I'm not teaching enough? I was so it was a big red flag for me because I recognized this person really liked my training. She was just trying to let me know that she wanted, this great compliment. And I, in this process of being just overwhelmed and burned out, that I just felt like at that moment, it was an attack that I wasn't doing enough, which is not what it was. That was my interpretation of it. So that was a huge red flag that my first feeling was like, oh my God, I'm doing everything here. So another sign, you struggle to be present in your classes. You struggle to be really present in the training. This can look like a lot of different things. Either you notice your everyone's mind wanders every once in a while, right? That happens. But if you're really struggling to stay present and what the person in front of you is doing or the class, and you are messing up what you're doing from one side to the other, again, that happens every once in a while. But if it becomes a constant thing, if you feel like you're not connecting with your clients, that could also be a sign of it. Your body also is going to start giving you clues. Poor sleep, headaches, tension, digestive issues. Now, all of those body symptoms, those body clues, can also be indicative of something else, right? So we have to always, when we are talking about body cues, be aware maybe there's something else that you also need to pay attention to. But in my case, burnout goes along, or extreme stress, maybe that's also what the word is. Burnout and extreme stress maybe is the same thing. There's good stress and bad stress, right? And when I have an overflow of the bad stress, then many different aspects of my bodily health is going to start like sending those alarm bells out. So that's something definitely to be aware of. And then of course, I find some of the most worrying symptoms of this extreme stress or this burnout is that you just feel like your passion is gone. You wake up and you're like, why am I doing this right now? And sometimes we're just thinking, hey, I'm just going through a busy season. And let me challenge that, because busy has become a mask that we wear to avoid admitting that we're overwhelmed. And I am the first person that has been doing this. Busy has been my like pat on the back, like I'm doing a good job because I am a busy, busy, busy person. And I'm going to get into this in a little bit, but this means that I have many things that I do poorly. I have poor boundaries. I have poor management issues of like delegating tasks. And once I really started to working on the tools that are helping get me out of this pattern, things have changed for me. So just hold on with me for a little bit because we're going to get there. I think the term burnout sometimes is overused. So let's be aware of that part of it. Like I said, there's good stress and there's bad stress. The good stress is if you are excited to do things, if you don't get tired doing the things that you love to do. But if we do too much of any one thing, you could just grind yourself down until there's nothing left. So finding that right balance of the good stress so it doesn't turn into the bad stress and turn into burnout. That is important. So how do we spot this burnout spiral? So let me get personal here. For me, over the last months, I was teaching too much, like 25 classes a week and more. And I'm running a business. I'm giving my time creating these podcasts. We have a YouTube channel. We create stuff on Instagram. I write blogs. We have teacher training programs. I write books about teacher training. I mentor teachers. I'm answering emails at midnight and everything else. This is crazy. This is not good stuff. I was just running on fumes. And people would say like, how do you do it all? That's amazing. But quietly, like inside, I've been breaking down over time. And the hard truth is that burnout doesn't hit all at once. It's like a slow fade. Like everything was good, this rhythm and this craziness, until it wasn't. Right? And there was processes that we had to put into place to start to save me so I don't get too overwhelmed in these things. So here are some of the questions for you now. Do you feel dread before your first client of the day? Like that pit in your stomach, like, oh my God, how am I going to do this? Are you using caffeine or sugar just to get through it? Or maybe at the end of the day, how's your alcohol consumption going? Chris and I, we had to stop drinking alcohol. I guess it's been about nine or 10 months, no alcohol for us, because we were so wrapped up in this crazy thing that, the busyness that we have in our studio, that was our only downtime. And we caught it and we said, hey, well, what are we doing? Like it's just a crutch. So are you using something to just get through, whether it's caffeine, sugar, different eating patterns that maybe aren't healthy for you, alcohol, cigarettes? There's a lot of different ways that it can show up. Do you resent time off because it means you're losing income? Are you losing income during that time? That's, also a management issue. What can we do to change that? Another question for you. When was the last time you moved your body just for you? Not to plan a class, not to check out, and a lot of the times I'd be working out for myself and writing things as I go down to make sure that I have my next class planned. But that means that I was not present in my body, in my workout, in my sense of health, because I was literally thinking about how other people would do that movement. So when's the last time you moved just for you? Shutting off your teacher brain, not cueing yourself in your brain, and not thinking about that, but moving yourself, your body, because that's why you started this. You started teaching because you loved how it made you feel in your body. And have you lost that spark? So if any of these are hitting close to home, you're not alone. I have mentored a lot of teachers, and there's a lot of them that are right here in this really uncomfortable spot. The good news is that you could do something about it. The bad news is we're going to have to change some stuff. Okay. The good news, yes, there's a way out. Bad news, you got to put some steps in place, and it might not be all at once. Ta-da! We've got it figured out. Okay. But let me just talk you through a few strategies, because this is the part that matters the most. What you can actually do to recover from, or if you're not there yet, let's avoid it. Okay. So one thing, set your boundaries and actually keep them. Okay. Burnout starts with boundary erosion. So are some ways to build them back up clearly and kindly. One thing I'd like you to think about is separate client communication. So there's a lot of different ways, and I understand there's different budgets, and there's studio owners that are listening to this, there are freelancers, there's people on contract, there's a lot of different ways, okay? So use the strategy that makes sense for you. Is it a studio email? Okay, that you don't check when you're off, or a second phone number, or WhatsApp Business or Google Voice. Separate those client communications. If you are communicating with your clients on Instagram, we have people in our communications with our people, we have Instagram and YouTube and all the things. We have time set aside when we are going to be responding, because having that separation gives your brain an off time. Remember, there are no Pilates emergencies. I've had a podcast just about that. No one is going to say, oh my God, I need those 6-pack abs tomorrow. No, that's not what it is. Okay. So separate your client communication so that you have you time and then you have teacher time, right? That should be different and clearly defined. So I would love for you to think about, what are your office hours? Add auto replies to emails or texts saying, thanks, I respond between 10 and 4 p.m. Monday through Friday, or whatever makes sense for you. And then you need to keep them. Once you define that, when you're going to be checking your emails, when you're going to be checking your text messages, whatever. You need to make your boundaries and stick to them. Same thing say no to last minute bookings. You offer specific times and hold your schedule firm, because that means if you're going through the motions of making a schedule that's going to work for you, maybe you and your family, maybe it's you and you want to meditate, or you and you wanted to do a workout and reading a book, whatever, that time is your holy time. You're not going to say, oh yeah, I have a free hour, I can work it for you. No, you really need to have your specific times and hold on to your schedule, or else it's going to start to, boundaries erode away. Then you're going to be working on your Sundays, on your Mondays, and the off seasons, in the 7 a.m. and late at night, So last minute bookings, or just keep clear on when you're working. Next, you are going to enforce your cancellation policy. You're going to make it visible. You're going to make it consistent. A boundary only works if you stick to it. Okay? I don't care what happened before. You're going to today decide what it is. If you don't have it in writing, you're going to put it right now on your website, or you're going to send out a newsletter and say what it is. Cancellation policy, 48 hours, 24 hours, 12 hours. I don't care what it is, but you need to decide what it is, make it visible, and make it consistent. Okay? Another thing is, just going to save you time here. Don't be afraid of using templates. Use canned responses to avoid rewriting the same message 20 times. You're going to get often these repeat questions over and over and over. Copy, paste it, save your time. Don't be sitting in there texting, at midnight, the same thing about your intro package or whatever it is. These are the directions to the studio for your class tomorrow. Copy, paste it. Okay. You're not being difficult. People aren't going to walk away. You're being professional. Think about the doctor's office. Are they going to be writing emails at midnight, texting at midnight? No, they're not. They're going to protect their time. You're being a professional teacher, a studio owner, and you need to be holding on to those boundaries in there. Another thing we're going to think about is automate and delegate. You do not have to do all this by hand. Think about a booking system like Hey Marvelous or B-Sport or whatever it is. It doesn't matter. There's so many out there. Save your time and prevent double bookings. Save your time. In my opinion, that was one of the first things that I invested in as when I was 11 years ago, 10 years ago, when I started, after a couple months of me penciling in every person and then them calling and, oh, I got to change this and I got to change that. That was one of the first things that I saw that I needed someone else to do. And what's great about having that automated system is that you can enforce, you could program in what is your cancellation policy, for example. So it's already programmed into the system. It makes your life easier. So there's that. Another thing for our automate and delegate section, auto payments. Okay, remove that awkward payment chase that you have to go back and forth, and now it's time for your next class payment or whatever it is. And even if you did decide that you wanted to not do auto payments, that is a template. It's a copy, paste, and send out the email. Okay. But I like auto payments a lot better. Can you automate any emails? Welcome new clients, confirm your bookings, send class reminders. What can you automate to make sure that you are not doing things by hand? So you're going to try to think about using technology as it is right now to protect your energy. I want you to ask yourself, what do I do manually? What do I repeat every day or every week that a software could do better? Right? Yes, there's some learning. You're going to have to learn how to set it up. Yes, I understand that is time and money to get those things set up, but you're going to be saving so much stress after that initial point, right? Depending on what your relationship to technology is. But after you set that up, it is going to be so much freedom in there. Even small automations add up to less cognitive load, less things that you need to be just holding space for in your brain. I would like you to create your protected time. So you're going to schedule non-client days for admin, for rest, for creative work. Okay. You're going to block your personal workouts in your calendar. Okay. If there's some people that say, oh, you have to work out, do your, if you teach Pilates, you need to do Pilates every single day. And then you teach yoga, you need to do your yoga practice every single day. Well, I teach like 3 or 4 different methods. I'm not going to spend every single day doing yoga and Pilates and bar, and then I still have to do my cardio and I still have to do my strength training. No, like you have to look at what's the one that's filling you up. What does your body need right now? And you're going to block your calendar and make it happen. Make it happen because your body, you know this. We give this to every client that we're teaching. Your body is your vessel. This is your sacred place. And if you are not prioritizing your body, no one else is going to prioritize it for you. We tell all of our clients, come in, do your workout, we'll take care of you. And then you let yourself get pushed to the side. So block it out on your calendar, please. Prioritize the joy in your life. And your joy might be different from my joy. So whether it's journaling, meditating, walking, dancing in your kitchen, I go hiking, me and spending time with my dog. This is the time where you refill. Okay, you spend the time to pour back into yourself because teachers are generous. We give. But you need to be able to take and to find what brings you that joy. We're going to rediscover your why. Okay? Burnout isn't just about exhaustion. It's often about a disconnection from what you love. So here's some suggestions. Sign up for a course because it excites you. You're excited to learn something new, not just for the continuing education credits. Okay? I understand that some of you need to or want to continue, do continuing education for certain brands or say certifying bodies of things. I get that, but I stopped doing that a long time ago. I answer to me because I want to learn in the areas that excites me. I don't want anyone else telling me what to learn and when. That to me is like the biggest burnout ever. I don't want to take another workshop that's worth 0.5 credits to learn about something that I already know. That's not for me. You do you, but my suggestion is sign up for something that piques your curiosity. It excites you. It's something that you've always wanted to learn, and maybe it's not even for or about movement. Maybe you've always wanted to learn pottery. Do it. What if it's like you want to do goldsmithing or painting or hula hoop? I don't know if they have hula hooping courses. Belly dancing. I know they have there. So it really doesn't matter what it is, but discovering that joy that's there, the joy of being a student, of curiosity, of learning, of feeling, I think that's exciting for you. And so your why maybe isn't necessarily about the movement method you're teaching right now. Maybe your why is going back into that joy of learning. Okay. Maybe something else to do would be to take someone else's class with no intention of like, oh, I got to write this class down, or that cue, I'm going to steal that cue, or this movement sequence. Anyway, there's no stealing, like it's all out there. But take someone's class, someone else's, just so you get to let down your teacher guard and just be there. Just enjoy the entire atmosphere, the not having to make decisions. So be a student again, be curious, laugh a little, right? This is where the inspiration it's always hiding in these little things. I get excited. I hear it, and it's been hard for me to get to this, right? It's been hard for me to get to the place where I allow myself these things that I've told you to do. I was talking to my therapist, and the advice that she shares most often about burnout is you can't give what you don't have. So that your nervous system sets the tone for the room, and resting is not a luxury, it's leadership. Resting isn't a luxury, it's leadership. Okay, that was like, what? That's amazing, right? Prioritize you and the space and the time that you need to reset. I really think, at least the way that I've experienced that, burnout is not a laziness problem. It's not you're a weak problem. You're not alone in this. Burnout is a system failure and not a personal one. This is a failure. It's a system that needs to be changed. It's a system, the way that you're working, you're going to have to make changes in this. It might look a whole bunch of different ways. It might be hiring a virtual assistant. It might be accepting less clients and raising your prices. It might look like many, many things, but this is your reminder that your energy is sacred, okay? Your body is your instrument, and taking care of it, it's not optional. If you want to continue in this field, you're going to have to do something for you. You're allowed to teach fewer classes. You're allowed to say no. You're allowed to rest. I hope this is sticking with you. I hope that you're feeling supported with us. I created a burnout reflection and recovery guide. So it's a little PDF that you could check in with yourself. There's some more tips in there. You can download it. It's free. It's in the show notes. Just go in and take it. I find that when I was creating this guide and doing it for myself, there's some hard questions in there. And I encourage you to take the time and the space to really go deep. Maybe your first answer is not the deep enough answer. Go really listen to what's bubbling up and write it down. Writing it down, not just thinking. Don't just think about it. Write it down. Getting it from your thoughts onto paper so that you can read it and look at it. That's a very sacred process. Do it. It helps you look and say, what is going to be my first step? What's going to be my first tool that I look for in order to create change? Because if you've gotten this far in this episode, you know deeply that this could be a big problem for you. I'm working on it for me, and I'm trying to give this also for you. You're not alone in this. There is a way out, and take some time, take some boundaries, use some tools. Maybe it's going to be that we need a mentor for you, or a separate coach, or a therapist, or a coaching program. Okay, there's workshops. There's a lot of different ways that we can support you. But the first step is having real conversations like this. It's about being truthful, real, deep down, gritty, honest with where you're at. And once you see that, then that's the step forward. We don't know where to go if we have no grip on where we're at, okay? We need strong, well-rested leaders in this field. I am cheering you on. I am excited that I know, and now you know, that there's a way forward. All right. Happy teaching, everyone. Don't forget to download that free burnout reflection and recovery guide. Find it in the show notes, or hit me up and I will get it to you as soon as possible. Happy teaching.
Thank you so much for joining us today. I hope you enjoyed the conversation. A great cost-free way of supporting us and the podcast would be to give us a 5-star rating. You could also look down into the show notes and grab any one of the free resources for teachers. I hope to see you next week on the Pilates Exchange. Happy teaching, everyone.